was rushed when I was in second year. I had good friends from high school who were members of the fraternity. But during second year, I injured myself, knee playing cut football. So I kept coming to the Zete parties all year, but I think it was felt that I couldn't do the physical activities. So I kept coming back the next year and did rush class of 76 and have maintained my relationship with the fraternity ever since. I was largely interested because of my high school friends, but there was a fellow who really captured my attention. Jay Nicholson, brother of my fellow 76er Tau class, Corey Nicholson. Jay expressed so much interest in me and others, but he seemed always to be able to take a personal interest. He got to know everybody and cared for everybody. And that is the legacy that I will never forget. When I was pledged at Theta Xi chapter, I never got the feeling that there was animosity or a desire to hurt people or make them not want to be a member. I never felt it was a weeding out. I'm a career reservist, and I know that often you want to weed out people who are going to be a drag on the military organization. But I've never found that at Zeta Xi, or Zeta Xi, or Theta Xi in particular, or our McGill chapter where I had attended a few rushes and initiations. So it wasn't hazing to weed out. And it was more build fellowship, build dedication, build commitment, tolerance. And if it wasn't for that, the fellow Zetes that I know and are here at the convention, I don't think they'd be around. We have that kind of commitment and support for each other. I don't want to overplay it, but there was never any get rid of those that don't cut it. I've been a member for more than 40 years, and I know fellow members from the same class, classes ahead of me, classes behind me, and they just keep coming back. So in a way that would be Zete for life. There's Zetes for life. I am too. I'm not, however, as actively involved as a number of my fellow classmates who go to every convention, to every golf tournament, everything. They go to the European chapters on a regular basis. I do what I can, and I'm always welcome. When I see the ones who are there all the time, they still come up to me, and I feel like I'm still a Zete for life, and that they introduce me to the new Zetes, and I try to carry that on and infuse that kind of feeling in the new Zetes. That's one of the things I enjoy most. Start them young, treat them well, let them know that they're wanted, and they're wanted for the long term. For every rush or commemoration that I've been to, and I don't get to too many rushes anymore because I live far away, but whenever I come to commemoration, I always make time to get together with the pledges, and that's what I enjoy the most. They seem to thrive on it. Not being a young elder, I'm not there to quiz them and make them feel uncomfortable. I love getting to know them. I love talking to them and finding out who they are. That's a rewarding thing for me. And I've had lots of elders when I was younger would speak to me the same way. When I was a younger member of the fraternity and elders would come up to me, they gave me advice. I remember who they were. I remember their names, their nicknames, and how they treated me, what their passions were, what they were involved in it career-wise. And I still get that. I go and meet, well, younger elders and peers, and some elders are still a bit older than me, and they do continue to share these things. I wanted to know more about them, and I got that. I almost didn't make it to the Cornell commemoration because 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago today, my mother died, and I was her primary caregiver. I had her moved to Quebec, and she died. I had her cremated, and I was under a lot of pressure, administering the estate, trying to get her back to her home, 10-hour drive away. But I thought, I can make this work. So I brought my mother. She's in the car, and I got to tell you, I tell that, my mother liked my sense of humor, and she would have liked, she would have scolded me a bit, but smiled. And when I got here, and I mentioned this to the Zetes, they know I have a little bit of a sense of humor, but they all expressed their appropriate sympathy, and now we move on together. They're supporting me, my mother supported me, we support each other. I started my military career as a cadet before I became a Zete. As a Zete, we had a number of other cadets and some that I mentored as a junior officer of cadets. When I was a Zete, I did that part-time. So Zete, occasional class, and then many cadet activities, flying, gliding, whatever. And I would take Zetes down to the armory, we'd do some marksmanship. I would take cadets, mentor them, they would become Zetes. And I continued that military thing after I left Toronto. Became a logistics officer, a reservist, finance, worked in a search and rescue squadron, and then moved to Ottawa and became an infantry officer. And as I was doing that, I met more Zetes, and I would go to Commemoration and wear proudly my uniform, kilt, and see other Zetes who were also in the forces, either regular force. We got to meet them all, compare notes. So it was a good networking thing on that side when I was a young elder. And in my career, I bounced around, worked with the Department of Indian Affairs, helping people. I would say that was my job. Then Natural Resources Canada as an economist, Health Canada, doing all sorts of different government jobs. But my advice to you Zetes, if you want to retire at 45 like I got to, marry well. I have a law degree, MBA, BA, looking to get a doctorate. My wife's still working, bless her soul, marry well. I want to get more involved because it's not a feeling of shame. Maybe it's jealousy or no, it's just I'm interested. I see some of my friends that have been friends for over 40 years, and I want to see them more. So I want to keep being involved. And yes, and until my ashes are in the back of my car or somebody's car at convention, that's how I'm going to stay involved until the end. I'm involved in the military doing community service essentially, and I'll do that until 65 when forced retirement, out of uniform. But even after that, I'll keep working with youth, which is what I thrived at doing that. Had a great career, able to retire at 45. Supportive, my wife supported me, my 4 kids support me, my fellow Zetes, they welcome me, they put me up when I need a place to crash in Toronto because I don't live there anymore. I don't really have to ask. I don't ask. They say, are you coming for the party on the Friday night before the annual convention or a commemoration? And they already know, yeah, you're staying at Corey's tonight. So it's just a given. they know it, and makes me feel part of a family, another family.